Hello, hello, everyone. Good to see you again in our little weekly call. Hello, Daniel. Hi, Amanola.
Hi Zorka,
Um,
hi Amanola.
so here we are today again, and we're very happy to see you all. I mean, we don't see you, but I hope you're happy to see us. and and we are today on a little ride that Aman will start, and I will leave him the space so he can get us on the road.
Hi, everyone. Let's get inspired. Okay, that's the conversation. Actually, if you're an artist, probably there are days that you wake up inspired and you work. But there are times something is missing with our inspiration. And if you're a businessman, you already have a money and you're trying to find a new business to invest, to work, but nothing inspires you. You are, for reason, somewhere in your life that you don't wake up inspired, or inspiration is something very far. That's what we want to talk and see how we can get inspired. One of the simplest things that works for me is getting together with the people I love and start talking and asking questions in a way that brings the good part of each one of us out. Just being in that mode is changing my day. If I wake up and I feel I don't have energy and I don't know what to do, I call certain people and give them some compliment. I share with them how exciting things are in my life if I see it. Not lying, is when I feel it and I experience it, then I share it. One thing I realized is as soon as we share our inspiration with others, not only they feel better, our inspiration in ourselves get more. That's another thing. But some days I wake up and I feel a stagnation. One of the things works for me to go and look at my closet and organize it. Sometimes just organizing my closet is like helping me to organize my mind, or clean up my garage. Simple things. And someone may say, you know what? I don't have a home to have a garage, or I don't have a closet. I have a couple of things. Definitely you have something that is sitting for a long time somewhere in your life, and that needs to be moved. It can be in a level of mind, it can be in a level of emotion, it can be in a level even of body. If I had a well-rested day on a Sunday, and at the end of the day I'm too stagnant, I can just go and walk, move the energy in myself. So I gave some ideas. Definitely you guys have a lot. I love to hear from you guys.
Go ahead, Danny.
Okay, thank you, Aman. That was that was a very sweet and very illustrative. At least I could see many pictures in the way you presented that. I could also see myself sometimes being a little stuck. It happens, of course. I feel I have naturally lots of inspirations almost every day. But sometimes I think that the challenge for me is that when I need an inspiration, so then there's this feeling of pressure that comes in, And then what do I do? This is the question that I sometimes ask myself, and I think you gave a lot of good answers already. That some of them I've explored, some of them not. I haven't seen from that angle. But just to share my own personal little let's say tricks that I use when that happens. Certainly, moving, changing place physically, just sometimes even like 5 meters away, changing the bench where I'm sitting, if I'm sitting on a bench, for example, to have a different perspective. If I'm in the forest and I'm sitting at the bottom of a tree and I feel like uninspired, all of a sudden, if I climb up a tree, I have a different perspective. I can feel the wind on my face. I can see differently. I have another view about the situation. It's very simple physical changes give me another perspective. So for me, inspiration is having a different angle at a certain situation, specifically in the case where it's kind of asked for. I mean, I'm going to make a little point parenthesis. For me, there's two different inspirations. There's a spontaneous one that is really, I mean, it's beyond your will in the sense that you're not expecting it. You're just going somewhere, doing something or doing nothing, and then all of a sudden something comes down. It's a beautiful inspiration. You feel inspired. And sometimes there are situations in life where you feel you need to be inspired to be able to make the next move. And then you can kind of trigger inspiration by changing perspective, which is kind of what I said. And moving physically, maybe I have another one that really helps me is breathing, doing some specific breathing techniques. Well, that usually come from yoga or other disciplines, from Sufi also. There's beautiful exercises. The simplest one is breathing deeply. Just start to breathe consciously. Consciously put your attention on your breath and breathe deeper, focusing on your exhale. And then naturally you're gonna let all things release, and then have a little more space for the next inspiration. And that, of course, is one of the tools. And well, I think that's going to be the first piece for me. Thank you. Your turn, Zorka, if you will.
Thank you, Daniel. Great. I love listening to you guys. It's just, it's so inspiring. I love it when we all have these different angles on the same situation. That for me is very inspiring. I mean, that's what you were saying, Aman, at the beginning. And as usual, I think this is kind of like becoming a little ritual, but I like to look at things from an energetic perspective. And so, of course, inspiration is part of breath. And breath has different aspects. One is inspiration, one is expiration. And like Daniel was saying, he always does like long expiration, and then we can inspire better. And why is that? Because when we do expiration, we make space for the next inspiration. We get rid of toxins. We get rid of thoughts that are like not useful anymore. We get rid of emotions that are like they don't need to be here. And so that in itself, if we do that consciously and we do that part of breath consciously, we let go of a lot of things inside of us that create space. And then the next inspiration, without having to think like, oh, I need this and that, but it will come because it gives space to something else. And that reminds me, Aman, when we started yoga with you, like, almost 30 years ago, and you always encouraged us to teach everything that we received, because this was the way that we were making space for the next teaching. And so as we were sharing with our friends, with the world, with people, whatever we just received, first of all, we were able to integrate it. So to know it better, because now we passed it on. And next, we were able to make some space for some new inspiration, some new teaching that we would receive to get fed and could build up on. So that for me is an energetic principle, just get things out so that we can again be filled with some new energy. So that's one thing. And so that brings me to cleansing. Because you talk about the closet, you talk about, whatever is inside of you to cleanse your breath. And we can also cleanse old relationships. How many of us have stagnant situations in our relationships? Oh my God. So that's a really good one. If we have something that is kind of hanging, that we haven't dealt with relationships, it's a really good idea to pick up the phone and go, hi, how are you doing? And just reconnect and see how the situation has moved, because sometimes it just stays in our head and we just think it's like the same than 10 years ago. But if we pick up the phone, we realize actually that everybody moved and we can start from a new breath. So that's the one thing that I really like addressing. And I also want to say about the different perspective that you talked about, Daniel, and then just like change place. I really like, and I'm discovering it right now, actually doing things that I didn't think, because they're new in my life, because that's the time of life that it happens. I didn't make them happen, but just going through them in consciousness makes me realize, like, wow, there are things that can happen in a way that I could have never imagined if I wouldn't have put myself into action and motion into those situations that didn't seem very interesting or something that would be enlightening. But I think we have a lot of preconceptions about what is inspiring and what is not. And sometimes just getting into motion with something that might not seem that way, all of a sudden is very revealing. So this is my sharing about this subject.
Actually, one thing it came to my mind. It's a friend of mine. She has a project to organize and clean her garage. And the title of her game was Purge for Peace.
That's a great.
Just imagine if I go to my closet and find the things that I haven't wear it for the last 6 months or a year or 2 years, and I just kept it over there. Just take off those and bring it to the minimum that I know these are the things I'm using it and I'm enjoying it. As soon as I give it to charity, everything starts shifting in everywhere in my life. It's amazing how, and I like it, the purge part. It's like, now, I think inspiration, it's the root of the word is coming from breathing,
Yeah, I think so.
Inspiring.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple of people sitting and start breathing. I don't know if I remember right or no. I don't. Is it Greek or is it Latin? That is the root of inspiration. Oh, that's conspire. Conspire. Conspiracy. Two people, and then aspire and aspiration. I think all of these have something about getting together and breathe together. I think so. If I'm wrong, forgive me, but I think it's something. And we just did this. We get together, we breathe together, and we come up with some ideas about being inspired. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I want to go and do some stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have anything else you want to say, Daniel? Complete?
Well, of course, there is many things. I'm going to try to be inspired to say a few words only. Only a few words. I think inspiration really, what is inspiration? Is just what comes after expiration, logically. And if we see it from that sense of the word. And I think the movement of inspiration for me is completely related to the expiration, in the sense of when I'm inspired, I have something that is starting to cook inside, and then I want to do something with that cooking inside. I want to create, and I want to expire. I want to create something. I mean, through my hands, usually, if it's something physical or so. And then it's this other movement of bring something out. And for me, it's very important to consider that inspiration is not just to feel in a space, oh, I'm so inspired, and then nothing comes out of that. I'm going to finish with this because that's really what comes from an inspired place. Some Native Americans say something really beautiful. When you are inspired and you go out in the woods to do your vision quest or whatever you do, when you have visions and you are inspired, bring corn back, do something with it that is bringing corn that maybe hopefully the whole tribe, the whole community can feed on. I think this is also for me one of the motors of inspiration. And when inspiration happens easily for me is that when I have this inner sense, consciousness of that dynamic to do something with my inspiration. It's not just there to feel this great moment of feeling inspired and then landing again and then, oh my God, how I'm going to get inspired again. That's not, see, I mean, I think that's the little thing to make it move, do something out of the inspiration. And that helps to create something, to make space inside. You're releasing something, your latest creation that you had from that inspiration. And then you have space, and then you can let the next inhale, inspiration come in, and then listen from what you've done before, and then move on to the next round. And so, yeah, that's the little last word of wisdom about this for me today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
For being present, you guys, and listening and hopefully enjoying this. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you very soon for another exciting subject. And I'll let you guys finish with your words for closure if you'd like.
Well, I was just looking at your movement, and what I noticed is that there is inspiration from like your center channel, and then you expire out to the world. And what came to me is like the next phase is being inspired by what's returning from your creation and then evolving with it back. So that's kind of the energy movement that we also look at, in coming in and evolving.
Yeah. Can you say it again, just making the movement very clearly, because it feels really precise and
yeah, it's like coming, like being inspired like through your center, and then from your hands, like you said, or just your being, just whatever actions or creation we go out into the world, you create something, and then whatever comes back from that creation is kind of the next inspiration, but now it's helping us to evolve back to center and evolving to the next level. So that's a little bit what I'm seeing in your, speak. That's what came to me when I looked at you. So that's what I would like to say to complete this. And that's where I would like to end it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. I mean, that was really fun. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Be well.